Attorney Rob McCarthy and high school head boy Garrett Gardner have never met, but both have a similar goal: to protect one of KwaZulu-Natal's primary water sources from potential disaster. Midmar Dam in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands provides water to Pietermaritzburg and Durban. That's 374 million kilolitres of water to 4.8 million people every year. Now, this vital water source could be severely compromised by a new low-cost housing development.
The research and the opinions of the experts are clear. Do not do this project.
That's completely crazy if you're going to put in another housing development like that when you haven't even sorted out current issues.
In an attempt to relocate squatters from informal settlements near Howick, local authorities have begun building the first phase of a 1,500-unit low-cost housing development right here at Midmar Dam. Even the Department of Water Affairs thinks the plan is foolhardy. It's siding with residents against the local Umgeni municipality. Manisha Maharaj is Acting Assistant Director for Water Resource Management.
The location is unsuitable, mainly because it's such in close proximity to a strategic water resource such as Midmar Dam.
Mark Graham is a water quality scientist and knows all about the appalling condition of KZN's waterways. His Rivers report shocked viewers in 2008 when he exposed that only 3 of the 61 rivers in Greater Durban were still in a natural condition. He also tested water from the Umsunduzi River, site of the annual Duzi Canoe Marathon. He revealed an E. coli count an astounding 7,000 times higher than the acceptable level. 40% of the field had either chronic diarrhea or vomiting.
In a funny way, the canoeists are the red flag to indicate their problems and issues around water and contamination that many of our rivers suffer from in the country.
Mark warns that contamination of the Midmar would pose an even greater risk because of its key position.
Midmar is top end of a cascade of dams going down the Umgeni River system. It cascades from here down to Albert Falls, which is Durban's main water supply, and then from Albert Falls down to Nagel Dam, and then on from there to Inanda Dam. So we've got the sequence cascade of key dams in the system. We want to preserve quality and quantity at the top rather than having to deal with it as problematic downstream.
Treating polluted water is a costly exercise, and of course ratepayers will have to cough up. As it is, there are already 2 low-cost housing projects in the area with outdated and overflowing sewage systems polluting Midmar and its rivers. Umpopomeni is a 6,000-house settlement built in the 60s, 3 kilometers above Midmar Dam. Sipumela is a 357 low-cost housing unit development completed 4 years ago, built 1.4 kilometers downstream from Midmar and just 100 meters from the Umgeni River's edge. Kailicha will be built below Umpopomeni. The fear is that the new controversial slum clearance project will only add to the problem. Rob says he got involved in 2002 when authorities first announced plans to build Kailicha. He grew up on the banks of the dam and says recreational activities will be a thing of the past if plans go ahead. It's also host to the famous Midmar Mile.
Sailing, swimming, fishing. It's a tremendously beautiful area.
Today, he's meeting with a young ally with similar concerns. Gareth goes to school in Howick. Asked to do a project on pollution in the area, he was shocked at what he found.
And you come here and it's really revolting. It's a stench.
Gareth started his investigation here at Sipumolele, which is a low-cost housing development just below Midmar Dam. Here he met Cyril Schleshle, a local resident who has had to deal with a burst manhole in his yard and raw sewage flowing out of his toilet.
Coming straight into the house.
These cell phone video clips of the muck were part of Garrett's project. The overflow included human feces.
It covered the issue of the sewage spilling out of his house and then flowing into the Umgeni River, which is located 100 meters away.
He says if sewage leaks into the river here, then Midmar is doomed with Kailicha built meters from shore. We're going up in the air to have a look and see the proximity of Kailicha to Midmar Dam. Not only will houses be built just under 800 meters from the shores of Midmar, the plan is for more houses to be built only 150 meters from a cascade of smaller dams on the site.
They would be the first receptacle. They would hold the water for some time. Ultimately, that water drains from there into Midmar Dam, which is now our primary drinking water source.